Over this past weekend, I was able to get a 100% IV Zashian, and I immediately maxed it out and also gave it its crown form. And I'm going to be testing out just how powerful this Pokemon is in this video. Alright y'all, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, I gotta show off this Pokemon that I got from Pokémon GO Fest in Jersey City. It was definitely the big highlight for my trip. It was this 100% IV Zacian, and boy was I excited when I got this Pokemon. It was basically one of my wish list items for Pokémon GO Fest, and I'm really excited about it because Crown Form Zashian is looking to be one of the most powerful Pokemon that we could ever get. It's going to be future-proof, it's going to be relevant in terms of Dynamax battles and raid battles. I was really ecstatic that I was able to pick up this Pokemon, and yeah, as you can see right here, it's completely maxed out. It has all of its moves unlocked, and I even went ahead and maxed out its Behemoth Blade max move, which is going to make this Pokemon incredibly powerful for Dynamax battles. So, I wanted to see just how powerful and useful this Pokemon is. There is, of course, a lot of content right here, like there's some gyms that I could take down, as well as a max battle just a little bit over there. I'm going to actually see how powerful this Pokemon is. I'm going to clear out both of these gyms and see just how hard this Pokemon will hit. Let's actually have this Pokemon selected in battle. There we go. And let's see how fast it could take down this Vaporeon. I really do think this is going to be one of the most powerful Pokemon we will ever get. It's pretty much on par in terms of stats with Mega Evolutions. It's on par with Fusion Forms. I mean, if you look at the combat point value of a fully maxed out 100% IV, it's 5629. That is absolutely insane. And wow, you can see right there, took it down no problem. I think when it comes to gym battles, it's going to be a pretty useful Pokemon, just outright. I mean, gym battling in and of itself is kind of outdated at this point. So, I don't necessarily know if this is going to be a good indicator of just how powerful this Pokemon is, because you could essentially use any very powerful Pokemon and get very similar results. You're just going to knock out the Pokemon, no problem. But when it comes to raid battles and when it comes to Dynamax content, which is where I specifically feel like this Pokemon is going to excel, I think it's going to be a different story. I think there are certain Pokemon, like, I'm not necessarily sure if there's any Pokemon in particular that's going to be just as useful as Zashian in terms of all-around battling content. Like, maybe there is a Pokemon in the future, like Eternatus, that could be very good, but yeah, I will say that Crown Form Zashian, the thing that makes it so useful is, of course, the fact that you could use it in raid battles, and then you could also use it in Dynamax content. I think that's what makes this Pokemon very special. It's kind of like the gimmick behind this Pokemon's Crown Form. Like, they advertised it as a Pokemon that you could essentially use in all different forms of content. And sure, you can make the argument that if you were to get yourself, let's say, a legendary or, I don't know, something that has its Dynamax form, like they've had the starter Pokemon, or not the starters, the legendary bird trio, they've also had the legendary beasts. They had those as something you can get eligible for Dynamax battles. Maybe you could make the argument that those Pokemon are going to be good for both Dynamax content as well as raid battles. But I feel like it's a little bit different with Crown Form Zashian. Okay, I had to run a little bit to be able to actually enter into this Sableye Dynamax battle, but let's actually see how powerful this Pokemon is going to be when it comes to Dynamax battles. So yeah, what was I saying? Basically, this is going to be one of those Pokemon that is going to be all around useful. I will say that there's going to be very few Pokemon that are going to have the versatility that this one Pokemon has. Alright, dealing some damage. I forget that Sableye is a little bit more difficult than usual. There we go. We just want to charge up that meter. I kind of want to show how strong Behemoth Blade is. My goodness, it is a very powerful attack. We're almost there. We should have no problem taking this down. Wow, it's going down pretty quickly though, considering I'm just soloing this. So I will say that even compared to like some of the Gigantamax Pokemon that I've obtained, this Pokemon still hits pretty hard. I did maybe like one other Dynamax battle before this, but it was a Machamp or a Machop. So it was a little bit too easy, but even for something a little bit more difficult like this, like the Sableye, yeah, you can see it's just chunking down its health. I will say this is pretty awesome. Yeah, so very useful, very powerful. All right, let's just keep this going. Now, the primary thing with Dynamax battles is that you want to charge up the max meter more than you want to unleash charge attacks. So as you can see, I'm not necessarily using my charge attacks often. I will use them on occasion, but I'm focused more on filling up my max meter. This is something I actually learned from the comments in my YouTube videos. All of you like provide some really great tips. So if you have any really good tips for Dynamax battles, definitely share them in the comments below, because this is one area of the game where I really want to improve. And it's something I want to do a lot more often. All right, so let's do another wave of Behemoth Blast, or Bash. I forgot what the move's name is. But yeah, it's such a powerful move. Behemoth Blade. There we go. Yeah, this is nice. I feel like with this one Pokemon, you could essentially solo a lot of the Dynamax content. Like, it's not going down in health as fast as other Pokemon, and it's dealing just an incredible amount of damage. There we go, just dodge. We're gonna take this down really soon here. Probably don't even need the max move. We could just use Play Rough, and we'll be able to take it down. Yeah, so there you go. I think Dynamax battles is where this Pokemon is definitely going to shine. It is so incredibly powerful, and I really want to get myself the Crown Zamazenta and test that one out. I feel like it's going to be really useful for these battles as well. It's definitely going to provide a little bit more strategy. You could probably use it to stall out. All right. So yeah, I will say that Crown Form Zashian is a phenomenal Pokemon. It's definitely one you will need to get, especially when it comes to Pokemon GO Fest Global, which we will be getting in about 2 weeks. So definitely be ready for that. I'm actually going to use Berry so I can catch this right away. But yeah, in terms of gym battling, you already saw it is a very powerful Pokemon, but pretty much any Pokemon can be considered very powerful when it comes to gym battles. It's just a matter of just zerging it down. But when it came to this Dynamax battle, yeah, took it down pretty easily. And Sableye is a little bit trickier compared to other Dynamax battles. So, alright, next up, let's test out Zashian's Crown Form in a raid battle. Now, this is going to be a raid against a Groudon, which of course is going to be super effective against Crown Form Zacian, but let's still see just how powerful this Pokemon can be. Now, this raid lobby only has about 4 trainers, so just in case, I'm going to actually Primal Revert this Kyogre for a little bit of insurance, but we're going to have Crown Form Zacian in the first slot. So let's actually see how long it can last. Let's see how much neutral damage it could deal. And yeah, I think this will be a good indicator of how powerful this Pokemon will be in raids. Now, every single one of Zashian's moves is going to be weak. Well, actually, Play Rough is going to deal, I will say, neutral damage. Yeah, it's surviving a bit. Of course, I am dodging some attacks. This one just happened to have Fire Blast, which is not good. But yeah, even with dodging, you can see it doesn't take out a whole lot of health. I'm not going to dodge this one. Oh no, I will. Yeah, so I will say it's lasting in battle pretty well. And it's dealing a good amount of damage as well. So even against something like Groudon, which is normally super effective against Zashian, it's doing pretty well, I will say. Certainly there's other Pokemon that wouldn't last as long as Crown Form Zashian, even though they are not dealt super effective damage. Alright, it's going to get knocked out for sure right here. Yeah, I will say that is pretty impressive. More impressive than I thought it would be. So, you know what? I'm going to chalk that up as a win. It's pretty good in raid battles. Yeah, there you go. I will say that Crown Form Zashian does live up to the hype. It's definitely a very powerful Pokemon, and it is one you should definitely focus on getting during Pokemon GO Fest Global. So yeah, there you go. In any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding Crown Form Zashian down below. Did you end up getting yourself one over this past weekend with Pokemon GO Fest? And do you plan to get it during Pokemon GO Fest Global? Definitely share all of your thoughts regarding this Pokemon in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.